Okay, bear with me on this one because it really might not work, but it's going to be fun to find out. This is the charcoal grinder that I made a couple of years back. It crushes the charcoal with big teeth and forces the pieces through slots when they're small enough. It worked fine, but it's too small and too slow for what I need these days. Now I could just go and make a bigger version of the same thing, but I came up with another plan. Just to recap though, this is to turn chunky charcoal pieces into coarse granules, not into a powder or a paste or anything, because this charcoal will be for sale as a soil additive for farmers and growers, and the size of the granules is really important. And that means that some sorts of grinder just won't work. Spinning it around in a giant food blender, for instance, or a cement mixer with stones in it, would just lead to too many small granules. There has to be a way for the granules to fall out of the machine as soon as they are small enough. So, what could work? Well, an under-the-sink waste disposal unit seems like it could do the job. We don't have them much in Ireland, but I understand that they're common in the States. They use high-speed flails to break up the food until it's small enough to get washed through holes in the sides. You need lots of running water with it, and maybe I could make one of those and just use larger holes. That might work. Again, not very fast though, and very messy, I think. Lots of water everywhere. And I'd probably need waterproof bearings too. So then I thought a simpler solution might be to just use a large, heavy roller to squash the charcoal through a grid. That would be a really simple machine, possibly without any bearings at all. So that was worth experimenting with. The plan was to have a grid the size of a table and a roller weighing 100 kgs or more, but I had to experiment first with something more modest to find the optimum gap between the bars. Now this size gap, I think about 7mm, led to a nice mixture of granule size, none too big and not too many small ones. The problem was the granules didn't drop through cleanly and quickly built up into an immovable lump. That's partly because the charcoal is damp. But whatever grinder design I use has to be able to cope with that, because I'm not going to be drying the charcoal. That would be just another slow process to add to all the others. But damp charcoal is a serious challenge because it just wants to stick together and form a bridge over the blades, or in this case a bridge between the blades. So I made another grid without the bolts and nuts as spacers. These are interlocking plates, and that worked better, but still it clogged up. So I made another version, this time with shallower bars or blades. The idea being that there would be less surface area to grip the charcoal, and it might fall through before it had a chance to stick together. and that worked quite well, but it's still jammed up. Quite frustrating, really. Of course, I looked at lots of other types of grinders, including plate mills and roller mills and ball mills and chipping machines and flail mowers and jaw crushers. The problem is they take quite a lot of work and parts and time to build, and at the end they just might not work either. So what to do? And then I looked again at this thing. It's our Swede chopper, and it works in a different way to all those other designs. It's more like a cheese grater. We don't have any Swedes or beets this year, so I'll show you what happens to a carrot instead. Okay, here goes. Obviously, this is too coarse for what I need, but the principle is interesting, isn't it? And it might work. So, here is the plan. I'm going to make a giant wheel out of wood and metal and attach it to my engine somehow so that it rotates at a nice gentle speed, and attach small teeth or plates to one side of the spokes and add a hopper next to it. And that's it. That's the plan. The theory is the charcoal in the hopper should be broken up and fall through the gap, because of the teeth going round and round, as easily and quickly as I can throw in shovelfuls of it. The key is the momentum and the weight of the wheel. So that's why it's going to be big, really big. I'm really excited to see if it works. What a fun project. And I've already started, so tune in next time for the first installment. Bum bum bum.